What's up, you guys? Kay the Critic here, and today I am doing top 10 best albums of 2020 so far. So first announcement, this is not particularly a hip-hop only album. This is all genres combined. Hip-hop, pop, rock, soft rock, indie rock, you name it. You can think about it, you name it. But second announcement, I am updating my reviews. I'm going to add fire tracks over the masterpiece tracks as another level to kind of make my top 10 a lot more easier, because this year I had a lot of albums that I gave 100% to that are top 10 worthy, that I highly do recommend you guys listen to. But unfortunately, a lot of those albums are not going to be on this list because this was actually really hard for me. But as I listen to more music of different genres, the more I come to this realization and the more I grow as this person. And you know, it's been a very incredible ride. Now, I'm still not really going to do reviews on YouTube because it's too much work for me. I'm still going to college. And you know, I'm still doing all this stuff around the house and continuously being productive. So it's been really a really tough time this year. It's been a really complicated year. Pretty much the worst year of my life so far, and for everybody, because we're going through a pandemic right now. The whole entire world is going through COVID-19, and you know, I see all these other countries such as Western Europe, New Zealand, and plus South Korea making all these really wonderful examples and handling this really well, up to the point where they have 0 cases. They got the job done. But here in America, it's been a horror movie. Honestly, the whole entire journey, it's been a horror movie that has not ended yet. Over 130,000 people have died so far in this recording, and it proves that we have a government that doesn't care about us. But we're fighting for it continuously, whether we're home or whether we're out there continuously protesting for human rights. For example, Black Lives Matter, in large part due to Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks. Oh my God, it's just all these names. It's been tragic. And even since the beginning of this pandemic, when we're on quote-unquote lockdown, the reason why I say quote-unquote lockdown is because they haven't completely closed the economy yet. But ever since this quote-unquote lockdown happened, a lot of black people have been completely brutalized. Police have been way worse recently. And you know, it's just after Ahmaud Arbery, this incredible movement happened. It's incredible, and it's so hard to watch those videos, and it's so amazing to watch the videos of thousands of people protesting. And I've been to so many protests myself. I wish I would have vlogged it, but I should have thought of that earlier. But it's just such an incredible experience, and it's such an incredible moment where we see our country change, and we're fighting against this pig in office who just, you know, caused terrorism in Washington, D.C., making the military attack the people that they are supposed to protect and serve. That is fascism and terrorism, okay? Literally, all these conservatives who support this, who tolerate this, who are for Blue Lives Matter, for All Lives Matter, they have no common sense whatsoever. None. No common sense. It's not about being academically smart. It's about having common sense. That's it. Being smart and having common sense and being a good person are two completely different things. You gotta have common sense. I'm sorry. That's literally what you have to be raised on, more than being academically smart. But I don't want to dive deep into this. Okay, I've had a lot more to say about this, and the fact of how our premier Democrat nominee Joe Biden is not proving his leadership, and is not proving it as well, as just making it worse as well. I can't believe we had to choose between Biden and Trump, and neither of them are good presidents. I don't even know if Joe Biden can go a full year. I hope he chooses the right vice president. I have him choose between Barbara Lee and Elizabeth Warren. But other than that, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to focus on this video right now to do the top 10 so far. You know, enough of the politics for now. But here we go. Top 10 albums. Here we wait. Okay, the guy's not here. That guy's gone. Good, because he doesn't listen to this stuff. Honestly, let's just go with number 10. Pray for Paris, West Side Gun. Now, for this album, I honestly gotta think to myself that, you know, West Side Gun isn't really the complete highlight of this album. It was the features for me. For me, it was mostly the features. West Side Gun was really amazing in this, but the features and the samples in this were for me. Tyler, the Creator, Freddie Gibbs, Rock Marciano, Benny the Butcher, Conway, Wale, Joey Badass. He chose the right features for this. The most unexpected and best one by far for me is Tyler, of course. And it's been a weird Tyler year because he's coming back to that Goblin and Bastard era of that time. And, you know, it's very nostalgic for me because, you know, I grew up listening to Tyler, the Creator. And, you know, all the features was just really so good in this. And, yeah, this is number 10 really for me. At number 9, this is an album I did listen to really late, and I'm glad that I really did not miss at all. And I got to listen to this new rapper that I'm going to potentially listen to the rest of his mistakes and albums from the past. But a lot of my sources say that this is his best album by far, and that is The Price of Tea in China, Boldy James, and Alchemist. Now, I don't want to get to Alchemist just yet. I don't want to reveal spoilers, but Boldy James was just so amazing in this, and the features were amazing as well. Vince Staples, my God. Oh God, Surf and Turf is one of my favorite tracks of the year. Jesus, Boldy James was absolutely killing it, and Vince was absolutely killing it as well. The other features were amazing, and the production was just from The Alchemist. It's just nothing I've heard from him before. I think this is. He says he's trash. He says to himself like most of my music's trash. This is not trash. This was not trash at all. Just wow. I'm glad I listened to this album. At number 8, this was the perfect conclusion album for this artist because of his passing 2 years ago. Very tragic. One of the most worst days of my life, and one of the most shocking days, shocking moments I've ever been through. Circles by Mac Miller. This is the most depressing album of the year. I'm not saying like very sad. It's just what a way to conclude this artist's journey. And this was just it explains how, you know, he goes away from him. He's kind of saying goodbye to life, and, you know, he's saying like, well, this is what it looks like. And, you know, the track Everybody, really powerful as well. It's like everybody's gonna live and everybody's gonna die, which, you know gives you this whole entire connection to life. Good News is just one of the best tracks of 2020 as well. You know, that's all everybody wants to have is just good news. But this year has been, you know, there's been more bad news than good, honestly. And to listen to this album is just really a connection to life itself. Amazing conclusion to Mac Miller's career, and his legacy is going to live on throughout generations. Number 7, we have Song for Our Daughter, the first non-hip-hop album in my list. Song for Our Daughter, Laura Marling. This is a beautiful album. one of the most beautiful albums I've heard this year, and she really does bring this sort of poetry where she doesn't really just talk to her daughter. She tells these stories about her past life for her daughter that is aimed specifically towards her daughter, and whether if it's like having affairs or having this relationship with her daughter and relationship with her boyfriend / husband, or relationship with life itself. It's just a very amazing album to listen to, and the acoustics in there very, very amazing and compelling as well. At number 6, we have What's Your Pleasure by Jessie Ware. Now, this is a very, very funky album, very nostalgic as well. If you want to listen to some disco stuff, some funky, you want the groove, feel the groove to dance, Jessie Ware is highly, highly recommended. I really do love this album. I listened to this a second time today. This is like the last album I had to re-listen to, and listen to it again is just really amazing. You feel the groove, you feel the funk, you feel energetic. It really gets you up in the morning, and you just it brings you back to that time. Whether if you're young or old, you're gonna love this album. And Jessie Ware is one of the artists who's brought that groove to 2020 and who cheers you up. So I highly recommend you guys listen to this album. At number 5, we have Sawayama by Rina Sawayama. This is the debut album of Rina Sawayama, and I gotta say, it's one of the best rock / pop albums I've ever heard in 2020. And the singing is just really uncomparable, because I can't think of any other singer who can sing just like Rina. And her very, very Janet Jackson and 90s studio, 90s pop-like nostalgia really just kills it. She brings this new wave into 2020 where you feel nostalgic, but at the same time you feel like, wow, this is just really something new. I really love Who's Gonna Save You Now, You're Gonna Love Me For Me. Oh my god, there's just so much to it. Bad Friend, really, really good. Access, my favorite track off of there. It's just wow. I'm really going to root for her throughout her career, and these tracks are just hit after hit after hit, and it's just, I'm really rooting for her to become a really huge sensation, and I really hope this isn't her last best album, because wow, the production off this is crazy. At number 4, the new Abnormal, The Strokes. I grew up listening to Strokes. More Strokes songs than albums, because I'm going to listen to both The Strokes and The Boys because of Julian Casablancas. He's one of my favorite singers in the rock, in the genre of rock ever. One of my favorite singers, and the new Abnormal completely proves it. At the Door, one of my favorite tracks ever. Beautiful, beautiful, nostalgic production, beautiful lyrics in the track Out the Door. Wow. And the music video, I kept on watching over and over again because it reminds me of that, oh god, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like a combination of those very dark animation shows back in the 80s and late 70s that was created by ex-Disney Imagineers, I think, and just wow, very nostalgic. I also love Bad Decisions. I also love, oh my god, The Adults Are Talking, and oh god, what is that other song called? Please don't be long, 'cause I want your love. Oh my god. Ode to the Mets, Eternal Summer. It's just all these tracks, 9 tracks. Wow, all worth your time. Really highly recommend you guys listen to it. At number 3, alright, this is one I didn't really want to spoil anything. Obviously, Alfredo, Freddie Gibbs, and The Alchemist. Freddie Gibbs, just wow, truly crazy year between Bandana and Alfredo. by different producers, The Alchemist and Madlib, and he has such powerful chemistry with them. Such powerful chemistry. I don't know which ones I want to put over which. It's just, they're tied together. When it comes to Freddie Gibbs working with producers like Alchemist and Madlib, he goes off. It's crazy, he goes off. He's just really lyrical. The most lyrical he's ever been. And it's Freddie Gibbs is that type of rapper where if you are heavily into producing hip hop, you gotta choose Freddie. You gotta go work with Freddie. And Something to Rap About is one of my favorite songs off of it. And for Tyler to go back to this whole persona of rapping again and doing it all in one take just proves that he's not just a hip hop artist. He's like an artist in general. Like whether you can think of whether it's hip hop, rock, pop, he can do it. He nails it. Just he proved it off of Igor. Plus Rick Ross, surprisingly, wow, really amazing. Benny the Butcher, wow, just God, this whole entire freaking album, just this whole entire album. I love every single track off of this. I will listen to this over and over again. Really. This has been an Alchemist year too. It's been a year for Alchemist. He finds all these artists, including Griselda. Griselda was really perfect for him. Working with the Griselda boys, really perfect. And then comes out of nowhere Freddie Gibbs, fucking awesome. I mean, God, really fucking awesome. And number fucking two. It's honestly my last rap album off this, I promise. RTJ4, Run the Jewels. My God, did they release this at such a right time. They were like, you know what, we're gonna release this really early because the times we're going through right now. Really fucking right time. You can blast this in any protest right now, and it goes along with it. The lyrics, it's more political, the most political album ever, like in 2020. Okay, this is their most political album they've released, more than RTJ3 and Run the Jewels 2. I think this is their best album since Run the Jewels 2. Like, honestly, wow. Just the lyrics off Killer Mike and Walking in the Snow and LP, just uncomparable, unimaginable. The song Just with Pharrell Williams and Zach De La Rocha, just wow, just really brings this message of today's how today's system works, and very educational at the same time. The production is just really amazing. Out of Sight, wow. Out of Sight, Ooh La La, wow. 2 Chainz and Out of Sight, wow. He really kept up with them. He really did. It's just, he was like actually trying. 2 Chainz was actually trying with somebody who's like really uncomparable. They're uncomparable. Wow. Oh God. Okay, now we're at number 1, which I think not only is the best 2020 album, the best quarantine album period that I've ever heard. It's really amazing to listen to this quarantine album, because that's what everybody calls it, a quarantine album. And it is a quarantine album because this artist made this album since the beginning of her quarantine. And just wow, I did rank it on the top 10 of other genres last year. Her last album, Charlie, last year, which is really amazing album. But I think How I'm Feeling Now is her best album. 37 minutes, all worth it. Really worth it. I could not stop listening to it. I couldn't, because it was that beautiful. It was that beautiful of a quarantine album, and that relatable, because of the fact that you miss your friends, you miss going out all the time, you miss going to concerts, you miss going out and having fun. And that's what she perfectly explains in How I'm Feeling Now. That's how we're feeling right now during this quarantine. We're feeling like we're missing going out. We miss going to Disneyland. We miss going to the movies. We miss going to the malls. We miss going to the beaches. It's just so amazing. Forever, Visions, Pink Diamond, Anthems, one of my favorite tracks off of this album. My favorite track off of this album, C2.0. It's just really amazing, and I hope it really does stay number 1 on my 2020 album so far, because this album Just wow. That marks it. That's my top 20 albums of top 10 albums of 2020 so far. So many amazing other albums coming from Deerhoof, coming from Lido Pimienta, coming from Natalia Lafourcade, coming from Backwash, coming from it's so many of them that I love. But I wish they were on my top 10. They're definitely on my top 20. Definitely on my top 20 albums. But top 10, strictly right here so far. I hope they will grow me eventually. But you know, if you guys are watching this, those artists that I just shout out to, I hope you guys are not offended at all. I hope you guys really do love this list as well, agree with it. And yeah, that's all I gotta bring. 2020's been one actual hell of a year, and yeah, it's been a very tough year. And I'm really feeling optimistic. I do have to feel optimistic at the same time. I don't want to feel all out skeptical and be a Debbie Downer, but we're gonna get through this together. The world's changing as we are growing as people. And we are coming to this realization that sometimes viruses are a part of life, and we're going through all this pain and suffering. And just remember that suffering is our greatest teacher, and it helps us grow as people. All right. Other than that, yeah. Make sure you guys go check out my last video, top 10 worst. Very funny, very entertaining. Glad that guy didn't come back. But I think he will as soon as I do another top 10 of the worst albums of 2020. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out.